We're talking about you all.
Just, oh, you know. Should we now begin feeling bad for Blake Lively because she appeared at her Simple Favor 2 premiere, and people are noting that she seems increasingly uncomfortable and anxious, and maybe it really is just a lot for her to deal with. When Anna Kendrick was asked about Blake Lively on the red carpet, she was a bit pithy. Marcos, who's another TikToker who essentially got his video banned because he had received a tip that the Reynolds family was lobbying Jenny Slate to join as a plaintiff. And Jenny Slate was pushing back on that, and he had heard from somebody in the orbit that was true.
Blake Lively, the actress who once captivated audiences with her performance in It Ends With Us, now finds herself embroiled in a courtroom drama that could rival any film plot. In a surprising turn of events, Lively has filed a motion to dismiss Justin Baldoni's staggering $400 million defamation lawsuit against her. To add fuel to the fire, Baldoni's legal team has leaked footage of alleged sexual harassment, pushing the case toward trial.
So they wrote in the last paragraph, late last night, which was what I said, I tweeted this, late last night while we all slept, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds filed a protective order. The guilty as sin couple is asking a judge to protect from the public some confidential documents and names that will be gathered in the discovery process. And then after they put my tweet, they write, predictably, the media outlets picked up the same narrative. Okay, yeah, but that's what you did. Like, what am I guilty of here? Leading the pack of people, like, because like, what, we're psychotic and we're checking your filings every day? And we said, oh, look, yeah, she's filing for more protection to protect, she thinks it's confidential documents. We just read through this. We showed the public that's what you're doing. So I don't understand why I got name checked here. And then just to say, predictably, the media outlets picked up the same narrative. They're like, they got me out here looking like Regina George when she cuts her shirt. And then everybody just starts cutting their shirts. It's like, no, I'm just telling the truth.
The crux of the matter revolves around Baldoni's claim that Lively didn't read the book before agreeing to the project. After reading it, she became deeply invested, wanting to contribute her own lines and rework the script. She sent Baldoni her ideas, to which he responded positively, but made it clear that not all her suggestions would be incorporated, as it was ultimately his project. This did not sit well with Lively, who texted Baldoni, "If you ever get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll appreciate that I'm Khaleesi, and like her, I happen to have a few dragons, usually for the better, as they protect those I fight for."
Mark my words, take it to the bank. This is what's going to happen. She is going to ruin the life and the career of Isabella Ferrer. That's what I think. Isabella Ferrer is going down. Okay, Isabella Ferrer thought that Blake Lively was her friend. She thought that Blake Lively was doing stuff because she wanted to be her big sister. She was styling her, took her to the Deadpool premiere. We talked about this strategy of just routine love bombing that her and Ryan Reynolds engage in.
This raises the question, do celebrities realize how outlandish their texts can be? Most people wouldn't dream of sending such a message in a professional context. It's as if Lively is saying, "I have my own little monsters," referring to her connections, which is a bizarre way to negotiate in a work setting. The legal battle has not only spotlighted Baldoni and his production company, Wayfarer Studios, but has also drawn in conservative commentator Candace Owens, who has been vocal about the situation.
It's like, what did she do with Isabella Ferrer? How did she love bomb her to the point that she's now using her? And Isabella Ferrer, let me tell you, you better lawyer up.
Hi, I'm Saul Goodman. Did you know that you have rights?
Quickly, because you got, okay? She didn't love you like a little sister. She was going after a movie. And then I found this clip circulating on the internet of Isabella Ferrer at the London premiere of It Ends With Us being asked about her relationship with Blake Lively. Take a listen.
What was it like working with Blake? Has she given you any kind of advice?
I love her. She's the best. She's given me so much advice. She has been so generous to me. She has given me clothes. She's fed me. She's let me sleep over. I mean, she's just been like a big sister that I never had. I'm an only child, so I'm like, this is so nice.
Love bomb. Isabella Ferrer is 23, 24 years old. She might be 24 now, was 23 at the time of filming. And she's looking at this and she's going, this is so cool. Like, she's inviting me over for sleepovers. Why is Blake Lively inviting Isabella Ferrer over for sleepovers? We're dealing with Grade A psychopaths. That's what you did. Okay? It was about Justin Baldoni, and she knew, Ryan Reynolds and her were like, we need to have someone else on set saying something happened. They're trying to now use her to try to justify their lawsuit. And I believe that this has been a wicked plan that she hatched long ago. And Isabella Ferrer is actually a victim of just a nefarious, nasty woman named Blake Lively. Those are my thoughts.
With allegations of misconduct, countersuits, and public disputes, this real-life drama is filled with intrigue, scandal, and a touch of absurdity. Late last night, Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, filed for a protective order, seeking to keep certain confidential documents and names private during the discovery process. Following this, I tweeted about the situation, and the media quickly picked up the narrative. It seems they're trying to paint me as the villain for simply reporting on their legal maneuvers.
Blake Lively is definitely not everyone's favorite person right now, but that will not stop her friends from throwing her a birthday bash, it seems. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are hosting Blake Lively's birthday bash in Rhode Island. On Saturday, TMZ had gotten photos of Taylor and Travis at the Rhode Island mansion. But it turns out it is not just a romantic getaway for the two, they are going to be throwing a birthday bash. Because later in the day, the birthday girl, Blake, showed up with her husband, Ryan Reynolds, and they were seen smooching outside the house. And Travis Kelce's brother, Jason Kelce, also flew in for the event, along with Bradley Cooper. So I would guess that Gigi Hadid would also be there. And reportedly, Patrick and Brittany Mahomes are also there. And TMZ says the weekend retreat couldn't come at a better time for Blake, who's been dealing with all the It Ends With Us drama between her and Justin Baldoni. Oh, you mean the drama that Blake Lively created? Yeah.
The saga began in December 2024 when Lively filed a complaint with the California Civil Rights Department, accusing Baldoni of misconduct during the production of It Ends With Us. Reports suggest Baldoni hired a PR crisis management team to undermine Lively after she confronted him about the alleged misconduct. Documents obtained by Lively through a subpoena indicated a coordinated effort to discredit her in both traditional and social media. I noted that Lively's complaints seemed influenced not by substances but by her proximity to Taylor Swift. Perhaps attending too many of Swift's concerts led her to feel invincible.
My oh my, Justin Baldoni's lawyers have now leaked the official footage of her alleged sexual harassment, and I now need this to go to trial. So the story goes, essentially, he says she didn't even read the book before signing on to the project. Then she read the book and kind of became consumed with it and wanted to basically introduce her own lines and wanted to become a part of the project and rework the script. So she submitted to him her ideas for how to rework the script, and apparently he gave her feedback, essentially saying, like, I really love how passionate you are about this project. Maybe we'll take some of these ideas, but obviously we're not going to take all these ideas because it's our project. And this was not good for Blake.
Balake.
She wrote this. This is her text message back to Justin Baldoni. She wrote, "If you ever get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll appreciate that I'm Khaleesi. And like her, I happen to have a few dragons. For better or worse, but usually for better. Because my dragons also protect those that I fight for. So really, we all benefit from those gorgeous monsters of mine." Why do celebrities not know they're insane? Do they know that human beings don't text like that? That's my question. Do they understand that at no point in my entire life am I texting that to anybody, especially when we're dealing with a work setting and somebody is the person who is running the movie? It's their project. I'm like, I've got little monsters, little dragons, and their names are Taylor Swift. I don't often use them, but if you give me what I want, yes, exactly what I want, they are not going to figuratively blow fire on your head. That's insane. Ryan Friedman, the lawyer on this case, is not kidding.
In a swift counterattack, Baldoni filed a $400 million defamation lawsuit against Lively, Reynolds, and their publicist, Leslie Sloan, accusing them of orchestrating a smear campaign to damage his reputation. Baldoni's complaint portrayed Lively as manipulative, attempting to deflect attention from her own alleged misjudgments by casting herself as a victim. I predict that Lively's actions could have serious repercussions for Isabella Ferrer, who believed Lively was a friend and mentor.
Narrator. She did not listen. She did not take my advice at all. I said that having read through Blake Lively's complaints, that it was evident to me that she was likely under the influence when she filed her complaint. Not under the influence of drugs, not under the influence of alcohol, but of the influence of proximity to Taylor Swift. Maybe one Eras tour too many had been attended by her and Ryan, and they were just feeling like they were Taylor Swift. I just recognized her brand of feminism.
Farah, who has spoken highly of Lively, may find herself caught in the crossfire of this legal battle. Owens, unexpectedly mentioned in the legal documents, addressed her involvement in a video, expressing confusion over being dragged into the fray. She stated, "I'm just telling the truth. I don't understand what your problem is with me." Initially, TikToker Maros supported Lively, but later changed his stance after reading Baldoni's countersuit, suggesting that Lively may have manipulated her audience.
This TikToker, Marcos, who runs the Be Better company, actually was Team Blake Lively when this all began, and then did this crazy thing called reading Justin Baldoni's countersuit and was like, listen, I know this is going to sound crazy, but everything that I'm reading here points to the fact that Blake Lively manipulated her audiences and lied to her audiences. And like, I'm kind of shocked as someone who fully believed her. And he's just basically as psychotic as me.
Now for the moment you've all been waiting for. So my source has told me that Lively's legal team is allegedly attempting to amend their filing and add Jenny Slate as a plaintiff to the lawsuit. But Jenny Slate allegedly does not want to be involved in this mess at all. And if she rejects their offer to be made an actual plaintiff in the case, which seems likely, they're likely going to subpoena her anyway and just include her testimony or her as evidence, because she allegedly has had some very bad experiences with Justin Baldoni in regard to harassment or being made to feel uncomfortable on set. I think at this point, Lively's team very strongly believes that if they're able to add more women officially to the lawsuit, that the claims will look more legitimate. But at this point, I don't think Jenny Slate or anyone else on the cast really wants to jump aboard.
Meanwhile, Lively's legal team is reportedly trying to add Jenny Slate as a plaintiff in the lawsuit, although Slate seems reluctant to get involved. If she declines, they may still subpoena her for testimony regarding her own uncomfortable experiences with Baldoni. Owens' commentary on the Lively-Baldoni dispute has amplified public discourse, with her siding against Lively and criticizing her allegations as part of a broader issue of false accusations in the Me Too era. Lively's team has cited Owens' remarks as part of the alleged smear campaign against her, which Owens dismissed as an attempt to silence dissent.
And then, as soon as Blake Lively filed her complaint, Liz Plank was out, instantly said she quit, a show of support and solidarity with Blake after everything dropped.
Wakanda forever.
And particularly, there was this TikToker, Steph with the Deets, who had showed that perhaps the reason that motivated her to get on the side of Blake Lively without actually looking into anything, or at least speaking to her co-host and hearing his side of things, may have been what we have discovered since, a repeat sort of Ryan Reynolds psychopathic strategy of essentially love bombing people. Ryan Reynolds, and this is Steph with the Deets again, had put her in this program, this documentary called Welcome to Wrexham. She appeared as an expert to deliver to audiences what the definition of a bromance is. Take a listen.
The definition of the word bromance is just, it's a platonic relationship between two men. There's no female equivalent to the term bromance. The female equivalent is friends.
As the legal battle continues, the entertainment industry watches closely, aware that the outcome could have significant implications. The case highlights the complexities of navigating personal and professional boundaries in Hollywood, where power dynamics and public perception are ever shifting. In a surprising twist, Baldoni has also filed a lawsuit against his former publicist, Stephanie Jones, accusing her of leaking private text messages that ignited the conflict with Lively. This adds another layer of complexity to an already convoluted legal saga. As the proceedings unfold, the public remains divided.
She's amazing, so amazing person, amazing actress. I'm really good friends with Alice Callahan, Amanda Setton.
Minions.
I still keep in touch with the woman who played my mother, Margaret Colin. She's a really awesome lady, and I love her a lot. So, yeah, I don't know if that suffices, but yes, I do. I do keep in touch with some people. Yes. What do you think about Taylor Momsen? I love her. I don't know. She's great. What do I think about her? She's awesome. I haven't seen her in ages.
Supporters view Lively as a courageous figure standing up against misconduct, while critics, bolstered by voices like Owens, see her actions as part of a troubling trend of unfounded accusations. The involvement of high-profile individuals ensures that this case remains in the spotlight, with each new development sparking debate across various platforms. In the midst of this turmoil, Lively's friends are rallying around her. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are reportedly hosting a birthday bash for Lively in Rhode Island, providing a much-needed escape from the ongoing drama. Despite the challenges she faces, Lively continues to navigate the complexities of her situation, with the world watching closely.